Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I did just want to come here and just give my commentary and thoughts and opinions on some of the stuff that's been going on in the media recently. Before I do start my video, I would like to say RIP to the legend Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and the other victims that perished on the plane with him on that fateful day. I do send my condolences out to him and the family members that have all been affected by the tragic loss of that plane crash, well, helicopter crash. So I did just want to start there with Kobe Bryant and the whole Gayle King asking about the alleged rape allegations that occurred with Kobe Bryant and his legacy. And I know some people were upset with the line of questioning and also the timing of it. People are still mourning, his family is still mourning, and in my opinion the question was distasteful. I agree when Lisa Leslie, I think that's her name, she did say if you had these questions you should have asked him when he was alive instead of bringing it up now to tarnish his legacy. And I find that that's been happening a lot in the media with the tarnishing of prolific black people, especially black males, that there has been an agenda to tarnish these men's legacy, to take all the greatness that they've accomplished throughout their legacy and just diminish all of that, all of the good, and just focus on that tiny aspect of negativity that has affected them. And I think it's distasteful. I think it is a campaign, me personally, against black men and to tarnish their legacies. That's my personal belief. No one can make me feel any different, because if you look at it, the same thing is not happening to white male creatives, I would say, that has done negative things, and that has not come up within their legacy. No one talks about that. No one is doing campaigns like to tarnish their legacy, doing documentaries to tarnish their legacy, doing interviews with victims to tarnish their legacy. It is only happening to the black celebrities, and I don't agree with it, and I don't think it's fair. And I know what it is in society. We can't compare like white and black and blah blah blah, because we already know what it is. But it's still very distasteful, and I don't agree with it at all. And so for Gayle, and I think most people was upset because it's mainly black people that are doing these campaigns. I'm not saying that they're the main ones behind them, because they're puppeteers. I believe there's a higher master, if you ask me, that's putting a battery in their back to go out and tarnish their fellow, what can I say? Because just because you black don't mean you have a black mind, or you are for black people. You could still have black skin and have a white mind and hate black people. And so, but I feel like they're using black people to do this so it'll have a stronger reaction within the black community, because we would listen more to someone that we look up to, such as a Oprah Winfrey and a Gayle King. But Oprah has been canceled, to me, especially for what she has done to Michael Jackson, trying to ruin his legacy by giving those those men who have continuously lied and changed their story platform to continue with the tarnishing of Michael Jackson's legacy. I did not agree with that. I do not agree with that. I would never agree with that. The same thing that she's doing with Russell Simmons. I do not agree with that. I will never agree with that. And yeah. But anyway, back to Gayle King and Kobe Bryant and her line of questioning in regards to his apparent rape charge, and it never went to trial. He was never convicted of it, although people call him a rapist. He was never convicted of rape. It never went to trial. And people be like, oh, well, she won civilly and just because you win civilly, that does not mean that Kobe Bryant raped her. And for people to continuously call him a rapist, and you have people on social media leaving comments like, oh, that's what the rapist deserved, and he's a rapist, and blah, 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 blah. How are you guys more than a rapist? And it's totally distasteful. And it's mainly the people, I think, that have been victimized, that they're taking out their aggression and their fear and their hurt on Kobe Bryant because they're not able to do that to the person that assaulted them, that raped them. So they're projecting their own feelings towards their rapist, towards Kobe Bryant, and it's not fair. Also, if people did their research and they did, real journalists like dug into the case, they would see that that whole Kobe Bryant thing, it was just a money grab for that girl. And the reason why I believe it didn't go to trial, because she would have came out a loser and her reputation would have been damaged, because her friends, they were going to testify against her because she went to the bar after she had sex with Kobe Bryant, bragging about having sex with Kobe Bryant, bragging about his male part, his penis, and bragging about how she's gonna do this with the money, and she's gonna get breast implants with the money, she's gonna do all that. So it was a plot from the beginning for her to say that Kobe Bryant raped her and she was gonna get money, and her friends were going to testify against her. They were going to testify that she was at the bar bragging about sleeping with Kobe Bryant, bragging about his penis size, bragging about the money grab that she was going to have and what she was going to do with it once she attained that money. And forensics found, just to show you how nasty this female was, forensics found when they did the kit on her, the rape kit, they found 3 sets of different men's semen within her panties. So the same night she had sex with Kobe Bryant, she went out and had sex with 3 other men. And the girl was so nasty, she didn't change her underwear. They found 3 sets of semen in her underwear. Not Kobe Bryant's, but 3 other men's semen in her panties. And they found that she was not a credible witness. So the trial was dismissed. But you're not going to hear about that information because it's buried and it's hidden, and people don't do their research. They just want to go with the like a news clip or a soundbite and go by that and tarnish this man's legacy and call him a rapist. And I don't think that's fair. And it was really wrong for Gayle King to ask that, I think. Why are they saying, you have to look at things deeper. Why are they getting Gayle King and Oprah to tarnish these black men's legacies, and they're not doing the same to the white counterparts, like Harvey Weinstein, like the other rapists and pedophiles that's in Hollywood? Why aren't they going after them with the same vigorous intent that they are with black men? Why aren't they doing documentaries on them? And so you just got to look deeper than what the media is telling you and do your own research and be a critical thinker. No one is a critical thinker. Lately, everybody thinks the same, everybody has the same thoughts, or they let social media think for them. No one does their own research to try to gain understanding of something. They just see a clip on social media or a soundbite on social media and they just run with it. No one stops to think, no one dissects, no one does anything. They just run with what they see because they're brainwashed and they're basically brain controlled. Like a lot of the masses is under brain control. Like no one sits and thinks for themselves lately. That's my opinion. That's the what I analyze, what I've analyzed so far by doing my own research. And then I know another thing people were upset about was Snoop Dogg's messaging and how he called Gayle King a dog-faced bitch. But my thing is, he was very disrespectful to her. And when he called her that name, because up until that point, he made a great point. His video was great, his message was great, until he called her out her name. But then people are acting so surprised, like, do you not listen to Snoop Dogg's music? Have you not followed Snoop Dogg's career? When has Snoop Dogg not disrespected black women in his music? I mean, come on, let's be for real. But because now it's Gayle King and it's a high-powered person or celebrity, it garners more attention. But when he's disrespecting just regular old black women in a community, it's no big deal. But I don't see why people were so surprised about Snoop calling her a bitch or a dog-faced bitch. I mean, do you listen to Snoop music? Come on, it's no surprise there. But yeah, I don't agree with it. I think Gayle deserves everything that she's receiving, the backlash that she's receiving. I think she deserves that because she should have thought before she answered that question. And when are Gayle King and Oprah gonna realize they're just using them? I mean, like, yeah, you got all this money, but integrity. Do you have integrity? And the way Gayle handled that interview and the questions that she asked, I personally believe it just shows that she lacks integrity. The same thing with Oprah and her giving those alleged Michael Jackson victims a platform to further tarnish this man's legacy. I think that shows just how her character is and how she lacks integrity. No one respects the dead anymore. Like, why are you running a smear campaign against individuals that are no longer here to defend themselves? And 9 times out of 10, their families aren't public figures. So even if their family do attest and disagree with it, it's not going to be plastered everywhere because their families are not public figures. And the same thing with this whole Me Too movement. If you think about it, hold on, there's a train going by, excuse me. If it's loud. Yeah, so with this whole Me Too movement, if you really pay attention to it, the only people that this Me Too movement is harming is black men. I know you say you got your Harvey Weinsteins and he's in orange trial, but let's be real, Harvey Weinstein is not going to jail. And if you think Harvey Weinstein is actually going to jail and is going to do time in jail, you're crazy. That man is not going to jail. That's why he has this whole persona thing going on that he's crippled and trying to gain sympathy for the masses because, oh, he's crippled. That man ain't going to jail. He's not going to jail. He got too much money. And he got Oprah and Gayle and everybody else behind him. That man is not going to do any time in jail, mark my words. But let's look at the black men that have been affected by that Me Too movement. We have Russell Simmons. Now we have Bill Cosby. We have R. Kelly. And now we have Rick James. Rick James has been dead for a really long time. A really, really long time. And now you have someone from the 70s that is trying to sue his estate because she claims he raped her back in the 70s. So if y'all not starting to get the bigger picture, I don't know what to tell y'all. It's like this. It is a campaign and it's an attack against the black male and the black public figures, and those are the only ones that's being affected by it. Nobody talks about Elvis Presley, marrying Priscilla Presley when she was 14 years old. That's not plastered everywhere. There's no documentaries about Elvis Presley messing with young girls and marrying a 14-year-old girl. You're not going to see that because the white people ain't going to let that happen. They're not going to let you tarnish their hero legacy. And to white people, Elvis is a god. And if you think you're going to come and make a documentary trying to tarnish his legacy, no, they're not going to allow that. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see it. But they'll be quick to do that to one of our black celebrities. And we all fall for the okie doke, and we all fall for the what's the word they use? Hate train or the bandwagon, and jump on that to tarnish these men's legacy, but we're not looking at the bigger picture. What was the other guy that married another white rock and roll star that married, I think she was 12, his 12-year-old cousin married her. But you ain't gonna hear no documentaries about that, because white people protect their celebrities. They protect their legacies. So you're not going to see documentaries on that. You're not going to see documentaries, although Michael Douglas, he just, not Michael Douglas, but his father, I believe his name is Kirk Douglas. You're not going to see any documentaries about him and his alleged rape charges or the girls he allegedly raped. You're not going to hear anything about that. You know, he passed away and you ain't heard not Nan's story about that, have you? No, you haven't. But let Kobe Bryant pass away. You want to bring up some alleged rape charges from a girl who was looking for a money grab, who willingly had sex with him and bragged about it to her friends. You gonna bring that up about his legacy and trying to tarnish his legacy with that information. Same thing they try to do with Tupac and call him a rapist and bring that alleged rape up, which everybody know he wasn't convicted of a rape. He wasn't even the one that she even says raped them. It was some people he was associated with that she knew that the people introduced her to him. So she knew that, and I believe like Haitian Jack was her cousin or something like that, or Jimmy Henchman. So it's deeper, but people don't want to do the research. They just want to go off what social media is telling them, and so they just run with it instead of doing their research. I mean, come on now. But yeah, so the whole thing with Gayle King and her line of questioning, I don't feel sorry for the backlash that she's receiving. And then Oprah on there crying. She's having a really hard time. She's taking it. What about his family? What about Vanessa Bryant? How do you think she's taking it? Or how do you think she's feeling? How do you think his kids are feeling? How do you think his parents are feeling? Sorry, y'all, train. How do you think his family is feeling? Or doing? They're not doing good, and then to turn the TV on and hear people trying to slander their beloved's name and reputation all on social media, on the media. Come on now. Have common courtesy and common respect. That's all. And I just think Gayle and Oprah lack integrity, and they prove that continuously. They continuously prove that they lack integrity. But yeah. And so that's my thoughts on Kobe Bryant and Gayle King. Oh my God, strange, y'all. I'm sorry. He like runs painfully all the time. Anyway, and so the next topic I did want to get into today was the topic of Dwyane Wade and his son and Lil Boosie, mainly Lil Boosie though, because Lil Boosie getting a little backlash for his opinion on Kobe Bryant. I mean, sorry, not Kobe Bryant. Hold on, y'all. Yeah. So Kobe Bryant is why I keep saying Kobe Bryant. Sorry, not Kobe Bryant. Boosie. Lil Boosie is getting a lot of backlash in regards to his statements that he made in regards to Dwyane Wade's son. And people are all like, it's none of your business, and calling him homophobe and all this other crap. My take on that is, just because someone doesn't agree with the homosexual lifestyle does not make them a homophobe. A lot of people need to go look up what the word homophobe means, because they just throw it around every time somebody doesn't agree with the homosexual lifestyle. They automatically call them a homophobe, and that is not true all the time. Now, are there some people that are homophobe? Yes. But just because someone doesn't agree with the lifestyle does not make them a homophobe. So people just need to stop throwing around words because they think it sounds good without knowing the proper terminology or the proper meaning of that said word. So then people were also like, well, it's none of his business. It's nobody's business what they choose to do with their son, and y'all need to mind y'all business. First of all that is fine and dandy. However, when you go on a campaign, a press campaign about your son's sexuality and about him being transgender now at 12 years old and wanting to be a girl now and be called a girl, when you do that and you go on these public presses and you open it up to the public, you open yourself up to public opinion. So you have to take the good and the bad and the ugly that comes with it, because you chose to make it public. You chose to put your business out there. So you can't get mad at people when they have a public opinion, when you made it a public issue and you're doing a public press run about your child's sexuality and how he now wants to be called a girl. So when people give their opinion about it and you don't like it, and now people need to mind their business, or they're homophobes because they don't agree with that lifestyle, Yeah, you can't get mad at someone for having an opinion. If you wouldn't have made it a public thing, no one would have had any say so or any opinion about what you choose to do in the privacy of your own home and the privacy of your household. But when you invite America into your household and you make it public, then people have the right to have an opinion about it. Point blank period. So you have to, if you want to do that, then you need to deal with the consequences of doing that. And no one's getting people like, oh, he supports his son and you just mad because he supports. No one is saying anything bad about Dwyane Wade supporting his son or supporting his decision to identify as a girl now. Like, no one is saying anything in regards to him supporting his son. Now, what people may have an issue with is the way that he's going about it. Like, why are you doing? People need to look deeper into shit instead of just taking shit as face value. What is the purpose of Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union going on a public press run about their son's sexuality? Just sit and ponder and think about that. Why are they doing that? Why is their son transitioning or being a transgender? Why is that anyone's business? Why is it public now? Why are they doing press releases on it? So that's stuff you need to ask yourself. And people's like, well, they've been posting pictures on Instagram and da-da-da. So what? And that means you go and do a whole press run about your son being gay and wanting to identify as a girl? No, people, look beyond what you're seeing. Just go deeper. Look beyond it. What are they trying to gain from it? Maybe the support and backing of the gay community, because we know that the gay community, they have a lot of pull. They do. So if they can get the support of the gay community on their side when they're fighting these battles with America's Got Talent and other things, they will have the support, not only the support of the black community, but the gay community. And once they have the support of the black and the gay community, they can get more done for their causes. But why are they choosing to parade around the sexuality of their child? That's something y'all need to ask yourselves. Instead of just taking shit as face value, oh, he's just supporting his son and okay, that's fine and dandy. Support your son in the privacy of your own home. If you don't want people's opinion on what you're doing, keep it to yourself. Keep it in the home. It's a family issue, right? So keep it within the family. Why are you doing press releases on it? Why? What are you trying to gain by doing a press release on your son's sexuality? Something to think about. Then people are like, oh, maybe it's because Dwyane Wade is actually gay and he's living vicariously through his son and I don't know. Maybe. It could be a possibility. You don't know what anyone's agenda is. It could be. Who knows? Only person that knows that is Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union. When I look at pictures of them, he never looks happy with Gabrielle Union. If you look at pictures, she always looks hella happy. She's happy in a relationship. But if you look at Dwyane Wade's face, he doesn't look happy at all. No matter what picture it is, he doesn't look happy. The happiest I see him look in pictures is when he's with his kids. But when he's in pictures with Gabrielle Union, he never looks happy at all. smile doesn't look genuine. His eyes, they're dead. But Gabrielle be happy as hell. Hella happy in the pictures. But not Dwyane Wade. So who knows? Maybe he is gay. I know Gabrielle Union did say some booty action within their bedroom. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe he is living vicariously through his son. And yeah, you should support your son. You should, if your child chooses to, if you should support your child anyway. Like if your child comes to you, you should support them. But the way Dwyane Wade is going about it, in my personal opinion, which I do have because it was made public, I don't think he should be doing public interviews and press runs about his son's sexuality because who knows? And then he said his son knew at age 3 that he was gay. Like, how does a child know anything about sexuality at 3 years old? Come on now, let's be real. At 3 years old, a child knows nothing about sexuality at 3 years old at all. So so then I have to ask myself, are you pushing your own agenda onto your child? Because at 3 years old, a child is not thinking about sexuality. That's an adult thing. Their brain isn't even fully developed at that point in particular time at 3 years old to even know what sexuality is. And then people are saying something like at decisions at 12 years old or whatever, and it's just like your prefrontal cortex isn't even fully developed at 12 years old. So their decision making at 12 years old, you can't just stand by that because that prefrontal cortex is not fully developed at all. And the prefrontal cortex is the decision making part of the brain. It is, and it's not fully developed at 12 years old. And so the prefrontal cortex is responsible for the child's ability to plan and think about consequences to their actions, to solve problems and control impulses. If that is not fully developed yet, so how are you going to, if that's not fully developed, how is you as a parent going to go on this press run about your son's sexuality when his prefrontal cortex isn't even fully developed yet? So right now, he's just acting off impulses. And at that stage of the brain, the kid's relying on a part of the brain called the amygdala. I think I'm saying that right. Amygdala. And so that controls emotions, impulses, aggression, and instinctive behavior. Their brain function is fully going off of that part of the brain, not the prefrontal cortex that adults think with and that we have to make decision making and things like that. So since it's not fully developed in a child, that's why they need parents to guide them. That's why they need parents to assist them with those decision makings. And who knows, he may have talked to his child at home, but we don't know that. We're just going based off the press release that he's going on with his son about his sexuality. And if we want to be real, I think it was until the 1970s or something, homosexuality was considered a mental illness. And so and I'm not saying that it is, because throughout history you can see that the Romans and the Greeks, they did partake in homosexuality, but they were pedophiles. They were molesting young boys when they were doing that. So you just gotta look at look at certain things and try to see what the objective is. I wonder if they sat down with their son and see if something traumatic happened to him. Was he molested as a child by someone? Like, to have that switch where he wants that, where he identifies as a girl now. Like, so those are things that I think should be questioned because of the majority of, not all, but the majority of people that identify as homosexual or bisexual or trans, something happened within, something traumatic happened in their life. They were either molested when they were younger, or they were raped. It's like, if you just talk to someone and if you go back to their history or to their childhood, you will see that something traumatic happened to them to alter their sexuality or alter their confusion about their sexuality. Yeah, but if you study psychology and you do research, you would know these things. But people these days don't do research. They strictly rely on social media for their content. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for Dwyane Wade supporting his son. I just don't agree with him making it a public thing, like because now you're setting your son up to be publicly scrutinized. So adults can handle that. Not even adults can handle that. And now you're putting that on your son to be publicly scrutinized because you're going on a press run about his sexuality. That's no one's business about his sexuality, but you as a parent is going on a press run about that. That's kind of, that's what I don't agree with. I'm all for supporting your child and everything, but I don't agree with the public press run on this child's sexuality. And he's a child. He's only 12 years old. Why does the world need to know about his sexuality? Why are they using black boys as a poster child now for the LGBTQ community? That's something y'all should think about too. Like, they're using the black male and the black boys as the face of it. Why? You need to think deeper. Why? So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. What else been going on lately? And then, the guy, the up-and-coming rapper Pop Smoke, got shot and passed away in a home invasion, and he was only 20 years old or whatever. Sad, sad, sad. We're losing all these people to gun violence. And the sad part about it is our own people doing this shit, yo. And that's the sad part about it. Coons. Just like dudes with self-hate and jealousy issues. But I personally believe that was a targeted hit. I don't believe it was random. He may have accidentally leaked his address on one of his, I believe they said, a Facebook story. But I honestly don't believe that was coincidental. And out of everybody that's in the house, you just choose to shoot and kill him. Nobody else was injured. Only Pop Smoke. He the only one that left there severely wounded, basically, and ended up dying later in the hospital. That sounds like a targeted hit to me. And normally when these things happen with, like, home invasions and robberies and shit like that, it's usually somebody close to you. Somebody in your inner circle close to you that was jealous or had a secret vendetta against you that you knew nothing about. You out here showing love, giving props, and low-key, this nigga hates you. But he around. just for the advantages of what your popularity can get them. But deep down, they hate your ass. But you don't know that because you too busy showing love. And niggas pretend well. People fake pretty well. That's the way I see it. It had to be somebody close to him. Because how would you not know, like, how you just gonna run up in the house? You don't know if that man got security there. You don't know if it's weapons there. You don't know nothing. You just, if it was random, you just running up in there trying to rob somebody. No research, nothing. That's why I personally think it was a personal hit. It was a target, and somebody knew. Somebody set it up. Nobody else was hurt. Nobody else got wounded. Nothing happened to anybody else. Only him. Make it make sense. Come on, y'all. Use your brain. I know y'all used to social media thinking for y'all, Google thinking for y'all, your peers thinking for y'all. But when is people gonna hop out of that damn box and think for themselves? There's nothing wrong with being a critical thinker. Nothing. But anyway, that's all I got. Oh, R.I.P. to Pop Smoke. From what I see on social media, he was a up and coming artist. Yeah, so RIP to him. Thank y'all for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel. Peace.